She came to me and she's like, "I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore." Literally said that sentence to me. And she's like, "I don't have any feelings. I think we should get divorced." I learned from your program that I was taking it for granted. I just assumed the love was there and she knew how I felt, and
Yeah.
she didn't. Like, I
Yeah.
was there, so I thought it was fine, but I wasn't really there. The time that I was spending with her wasn't undivided to her and our kids. It was, I'm here physically, but really I'm over here playing on my phone and texting the company. And she was completely shut down. She didn't want to even consider going to group therapy, talking, nothing. And asked if we could talk about her staying by the house again. And I said, "Yep." I made sure she felt included in it and all that. And then after the kids went to bed, she came up to me and just said, "I don't want to be away anymore. I feel alone. I feel lost. Can I come home?" And said, "Absolutely." And literally that night, like, she was gonna stay in the guest room or stay on the couch. Well, she was gonna stay in the guest room, and then she said, "It feels too lonely in there. I'll just sleep on the couch." Well, then later that night, she actually came in our room and she's like, do you mind if I come and lay in bed with you?" And she's been, we've been sharing our bed again. We've been talking, we've been discussing next steps. She actually asked me about the program like daily now when I get home.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another interview with another one of our turnaround program members. We have Kevin over here who's here to spread a message of hope and here to share his results with everybody to show you that no one's smarter than you, no one's in a easier situation or luckier than you. You just got to show up, do the work. And so we'll just get right into it. So Kevin, thank you for coming on. Now we'll just jump right in. So what was happening in your marriage that made you look for help in the first place?
To be honest, I until the day came where she came to me and she's like, "I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore." Literally said that sentence to me. And she's like, "I don't have any feelings. I think we should get divorced." I thought everything was going good. I mean, we both have full-time jobs. We run a business together. We have kids together. I We were making moves for the future. It seemed like we were on the same page, but I didn't know that secretly she felt like she wasn't being heard and I wasn't there emotionally for her. I pretty much I learned from your program that I was taking it for granted. I just assumed the love was there and she knew how I felt, and
Yeah.
she didn't.
Yeah,
So
sometimes it's like what I say all the time. It's like someone's utopia is another person's dystopia unless you have that communication and that data
yeah,
gathering. So
and,
what made you ultimately decide to join the turnaround program?
um, I guess what hearing that, I'm pretty sure what every guy would do and spiraled, tried to figure out what to do, try to change her mind, try to tell her, "Oh, no, we can fix this." She was completely shut down. She didn't want to even consider going to group therapy, talking, nothing. Um, so I started doing some research. I came across some of your stuff online, and literally every video of yours I watched was like you were talking to me, like it just fit. So I got the book and I went through that right away, and that showed me a lot of what I was doing without even realizing. And I felt like there was more. So then I did one of your calls, and I believe I talked with Isabel, and that was a really good conversation. And I decided right then that I wanted to be a part of the program and I wanted to better myself and make sure I understood what I was doing and how could be better for myself and for my family.
That
And
man. I love it. That's why we have those calls in the first place because we just want to make sure that we give you guys clarity and direction. If you guys want to join, you can join. If not, we're here to meet you wherever you're at. So,
yeah, I
so
love
but
there was really like no pressure in the call. Like, I looked at a couple other things and they just the other ones I looked at, they were pressuring. They were, "Well, you have to do this right now." And with your guy with the call with,
I think I
um
lost you there for
oh,
yeah,
sorry.
okay, so basically, um, I think you were just talking about how, that conversation was really good with, Isabel, and before I had
Yeah.
said that, that's why we have them to make sure that, you guys have some clarity, have some direction. If you wanna join, that's cool. If not, and then you were gonna talk about that call that you had.
Yeah, that call, like I said, that call, there was a ton of clarity, information, and there was 0 pressure to join, which I really appreciated. Like, she laid it all out there, worked everything out, and wasn't pressuring. I mean, I talked to I had another call with, I forgot what the name of the group was, but it was actually more expensive, and they were just the guy was actually mean, like, he was pushing, and he's like, "Well, if you wanna do this, you'll have to spend the money." I'm like, "I understand," but, like, it wasn't a good vibe at all, and it was like, and then they were texting me like, "Well, are you ready yet, or do you just wanna ruin your marriage?" And, like, it was very pressureful. This call with you guys was great. It was very informational, and I'm very happy that I took the step to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, what's actually funny about that real quick, and then we'll get back on the questions. That's the difference between a surgeon who's actually been in surgeries, multiple surgeries, and a surgeon who's just read the book, right? Like someone who's actually been in it, like I have, but everybody forgets that my marriage was really, really bad, right? And I realized that there was something deeper. I know that that's not what we want here. We wanna make sure that we help every single person, even if it's just one phone call, even if it's just one email, even whatever, right? That's why I always have people, "Hey, email me, no problem, we'll get to you." Hey, on the free Facebook group, post a comment, ask a question. That's what we're here for, you know? So, every time I hear something like that, because it's not just you, we have a bunch of guys come from different programs, they're just dumbfounded that we're just here to show you, help you, grow you, so we actually make that connection, right? It's not
Right.
it's not because I read it out of a textbook and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Alright, I'm gonna come." I know no, we have been doing this. We have been in the trenches with you guys. I was in the trenches alone, and I don't want anybody to go through that. So,
Oh, no, and it definitely shows.
I love it, man. I
Like,
love it. And I'm glad you guys feel
they
that.
even with, like, doing the modulars and working the program, like, there's times where I would still, like, no matter how hard you try, you just can't get out of your own head. And I would jump on in the discussion and say something, and between the other people in the group, like, saying that, "Hey, just try this, try that," and, like, you or another team member would jump on and be like, "Alright, this is what you gotta remember this," like, you don't hold back, you don't wear baby gloves, you just kinda say, "Hey, come on, you know better than this," and it would really help, like, keep me centered and
I like it.
focused.
I like it, man. So what did you try anything else before you joined?
No, I was looking around on the internet and stuff. I found your book, read that, and it really hit with me, and then I saw a couple other groups on Facebook and all that that popped up, and I would just inquire about them. But like I said, there was nothing that really connected and spoke to me like the information that you put out there, and you continue to put out. Like, I get your emails, and every day I still read them, I still watch them, like, I still go I know there's a lot of work to do to still restore my marriage, but just having her back home, having her in our bed, having her talk to me again, have like wanting to discuss it, it feels huge. Like we actually have a relationship again, and now we both understand like there's work to be done. Like the communication wasn't there. She thought she was telling me, but I wasn't listening to what she was saying. I wasn't picking up. I was in a man mind. Everything's fine. You're great. Every everything's beautiful. Like, look at all of our pictures. Look at our social media. Look at what we're doing. Like, I wasn't looking behind the scenes, and she couldn't. She didn't know how to relay to me how she felt either. So she just bottled it up and till it became too much.
And that's the beauty of masculine leadership, man, especially emotional masculine leadership. To have your wife open up about that stuff, go through the healing, go through the shifting, and now you're in the bonding, which is like Renaissance man. That's just a lifestyle. That's just a continue because you could always bond with your wife, even more and more and more. That's what people who have been married 75 plus, 60 plus years, if you interview them or you see them on any interviews, that's what they always talk about. There's always something to learn and grow. So that's awesome, man. Now, specifically, what were the results that you achieved from joining?
I learned a lot of how I was handling myself and how I was. I guess the biggest thing recently that I took away from one of the modulars and that actually me and my wife were talking about was your quality of time, not quantity of time. Like, I looked at it as I was home every night after work. I was there. We were sitting in the same room, but I was always on my phone. I was always answering text messages for the business. I was always like she'd bring the mail in and I would be like, "Oh, gotta open the mail." And like not even say, "How was your day?" Like, I was there, so I thought it was fine, but I wasn't really there. The time that I was spending with her wasn't undivided to her and our kids. It was, I'm here physically, but really I'm over here playing on my phone and texting the company. And so I learned a lot about that and how much that upset her. Like, she would, now looking back, I would see the little hints she would drop. And now knowing what I've learned through the program, I catch myself going, God, how was I so stupid? Like, how did I not see what she was trying to tell me? But it was just how my mind was set at the time, and I needed this program, I needed the information that you provide to, I guess, open my eyes up and show me, like, "No, you're not really there, you're just present."
Mhm. Yeah, and then so
So,
for context for the audience, where were you before, and then what results did you achieve while you were going through the program? So, like, what was it with your wife? Were you divorced, separated, that type of a deal?
um, well, she told me she had no feelings anymore for me. We pretty much separated. She went and stayed at a rental property we have, and me and the kids stayed in the house. We talked, but it was all just either like about the kids or surface talk. Um, we never like fought or yelled at each other or anything like that, but there was very little communication and she was dead set, like there was no fixing anything. I started doing the program, I started seeing what I was doing and just putting it into action, like showing her that I wanted to show up, showing like proving to her through my actions. Um, at times I still didn't believe that it was gonna make a difference. I thought she was still full steam ahead. And actually a week ago, me and my daughters went out of town for a night, just to go visit some family and do some fun stuff. And she on when we were working our way home, my wife started texting me and she asked if she could come and do Easter eggs with the kids. I'm like, well, we planned on doing it tonight. And she's like, well, can I join? I'm like, yep, absolutely. The kids would love to have you there. It'll be fun for everyone. And all of a sudden, she just opened up to me. She said she realizes that she had faults too in communicating and that she sees that she has stuff she has to work out and she's sorry and asked if we could talk about her staying by the house again. And I said, yep. And when we got home, she was already actually at our house. And I just went in with the kids. We proceeded to do what we had planned. I made sure she felt included in it and all that. And then after the kids went to bed, she came up to me and just said, I don't want to be away anymore. I feel alone. I feel lost. Can I come home? And said, absolutely. And literally that night, like she was gonna stay in the guest room or stay on the couch. Well, she was gonna stay in the guest room, and then she said it feels too lonely in there. I'll just sleep on the couch. Well, then later that night, she actually came in our room and she's like, "Can I? Do you mind if I come and lay in bed with you?" And she's been, we've been sharing our bed again. We've been talking. We've been discussing next steps. She actually asked me about the program like daily now when I get home. So
That's awesome.
she's very intrigued by what I've learned through the program, and she like daily, like last night I think we just sat there and talked for probably about a half hour just randomly, and she's like, "Oh, well, what about this? How do you feel about this?" And ask about this program. I tell her some of the stuff I've learned, and she's like, "Oh, well, that's what I was trying to tell you." I'm like, "Yeah, you were, but not in a way I could hear it."
Yeah. Yeah. It's really fun. It's really okay, so that's awesome because a lot of guys, like, freak out, and a lot of guys like, "I gotta get her back, I gotta get her back." But what is she gonna come back to? And you
Right.
prove that through action and words, right? It's a combination, but mainly it's
Mhm.
action. And but you did what I tell you guys always, men build the house, women make it a home. You have to build the house. You have to create the environment for the feminine to come into, and that's what you're seeing right now is she's surrendering her feminine into your masculine, and now you guys are bonding, conversing, and growing, and that's the beautiful part of it. And when
It's amazing.
yeah, when we're
Like,
finished with
I
the female version of the book, I'll send it to you. I might even send you a prototype or a beta copy. It's like version 1. I've gone through many iterations of the heroic husband, so I'll have to send that
well,
to you.
she asks that all the time. She's like, "So is it just like a guys group, or do they help women too?" I'm like, "I think he might be working on something on the women's side."
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's awesome, man. So, that actually leads me to a very interesting. So what did you expect coming into it versus the reality of what you saw?
do you mean the conversation
No, the
or
program.
uh,
So, like, what were your
the
expectations
program?
going into the program versus what would the work was?
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I was just lost, and I knew I had to change my way of thinking, and I had to improve myself, and I didn't know how to. And I like instantly connected with the program and started realizing things. And then once I started working through the program, it's still amazing. Like I'd be having like a hard day, like be getting in my head or something, and I'd be on doing the modulars on the program, and it would just it would like fit perfectly. Like it knew what was happening in my head. It, it's hard to explain, but the program changed a lot in me, and it improved me a lot. Just even just listening to the modulars and doing the exercises, and I mean, for me going in, especially like when you do the mirror exercise, I was kinda like, this seems weird. Like, I'm not sure I believe this." And then I'm like, "Well, I gotta do it." And I was doing it, and I remember sitting there doing it and have like, as I was doing it, going, "Holy shit, like, this actually makes a difference. This does something." Like, so, I mean, I it definitely it opened my mind up a lot,
Oh, yeah.
and
No one talks about what we talk about. Like, what I've been doing with you guys on Tuesday with all the mindset stuff, no one talks about it. No one talks about away thinking, no one talks about towards thinking. No one talks about subconscious work. Like, this is everything that I've gone through with you guys in the trenches, what I had to learn myself. So, I'm that makes me so happy. Especially, I haven't heard someone bring up mirror work in a long time because normally they'll do like parts work or something else. I love mirror work. I personally love it. So that's awesome, man.
I like it now. I was skeptical when I was first doing I was like, "Really?" Like, but now I do it. I like it. I actually catch myself wanting to do it more now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
So so then what was if you had to boil it down, like what was the biggest thing that you learned from the heroic husband?
um, I think the biggest thing is just paying attention, being attentive. Like I know the one, thing you would say was, like, being in 2 separate sides of the house. Like, I was in the front yard standing under a rainbow, and she was in the backyard in a Category 5, and I never noticed because I wasn't paying attention. And I think I learned through the program is how to get out of my own way and how to actually listen to my wife and pay attention to my wife and be better for myself. Like, I can't just focus on work all the time and think my family will be there because 'cause they're fine, I'm providing. They need my attention as more than my work and my business do, and that was a big thing for me to learn. Like, those problems will still be there in the morning. The kids won't be this little forever. Like, I shouldn't be sitting at their baseball game on the sidelines on my phone worrying about work. I should be worried about where I am at the time and my family in the present, and I wasn't doing that before the program.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny too, especially because my I have two kids, right? So one's two. He's like 2 in like 3 months. And then we have my newborn who's 4 months. You especially with like the second kid, you don't realize how much you take for granted in the first one, especially with all that time. So that's beautiful. That's and your family does the family needs the masculine. So that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
Now we'll just
yeah.
go ahead.
It's a lot. Like our two daughters, because I have two stepchildren. One's 19, he's moved out of the house. Middle daughter's 15, and then mine and my wife's daughter is 8. And actually, while all this was going on, our 15-year-old was going through the process, and she actually changed her last name to my last name. So, and she knew what, like, there was an issue going on, and she's smart. She could see like, well, mom's not here, and what's happening? Why aren't you guys talking? Which made it hard because it was at the same time she was taking my last name because she looks at me as her father. And then she didn't understand what was going on with me and her mom. So now it hits harder and it makes me even more grateful I found this program and I'm working to restoring my family. So,
I love it. I
but
love it, man.
the kids definitely play a huge role in not only they take up like you got to give them the time too. And I wasn't giving anybody the time, and I feel like my wife was trying to give them extra time to make up for the time I wasn't there for them, which came between us even harder.
Oh yeah. And you know what's interesting, and then we'll move on to the last set of questions. Everyone always focuses on excavations with their wife, and I'm like, "No, no, no. Everybody." Like, it's literally a charismatic framework. Like, it's to meet people where they're at. I call it a Socratic charismatic framework to meet anybody where they're at so you can have a conversation with literally anybody. And you'd be surprised with employees, with peers, with superiors, even with your children especially. Oh, excavations are extremely powerful, very powerful. So I love hearing that. Now, what did you think about Noah's me, right? Noah's style and actions style of feedback and action steps that I give you guys.
At first, I was leery, and then when I got into it, I really liked it, and I love like I said, you don't kid glove, like, you get to the point, you say, "No, that's not what you need to do, you need to act this way, you need to go back and focus again on this modular, focus on your mindset," like, you don't just baby it and say, "Oh, well, it's gonna be okay," because that doesn't work. Like, sometimes it can be hard, but it's stuff you need to hear, like, you're not afraid to just call it out. Call out the bullshit and just say like, "No, that's you're not doing what you need to be doing. You need to focus more on this." And it might not be what you want to hear at the time. I mean, of course, we all want someone to tell us, "Oh, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry." But that's not the case. And you don't do that. You tell it how it is. And that's what I think I needed. And I think that's what people in this program need to strive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially because like, I got mirror work from being like, I need someone to be straight up with me. So I just look at myself and I'm like, all right, cool, let's figure this out. And especially in the book where I'm like, you got to look into your eyes. Like you can't BS yourself. Like after 5 minutes of just like looking at yourself, then that's where the real stuff comes out and you're like, oh man. So I love that, man. Okay. So we'll just wrap up with the last couple of questions. And would you recommend this program for other men?
I would recommend this program for everybody. I actually our 15-year-old, because she keeps talking to me and like you said, motivations are important on everyone.
Hmm.
She'd ask me what's going on. I'd tell her a little bit just to like keep her calm and try to relax her. But I actually made a joke. I'm like, well, when you get a boyfriend and they ever think they're going to marry you, the first thing I'm doing is handing them this book and saying, here, you're reading this word for word in front of me. because you need to know this going in so you don't have the problems. Like, I feel like every man should get this book before they get married or before they get in a serious relationship or just in general so they can understand themselves more and figure it makes life a lot easier, that's for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, um, who do you think specifically should have this besides everybody? If there was a specific person, you're like, yeah, you definitely need this.
Specifically, I would like actually working the reading the book, going through the program, I could pick out like a handful of friends that close friends and uh with us that I would be like, "Hey, how do I tell them like
Yeah,
you're in self-destruction mode here, just read this." Like I feel like a lot of my friends cuz a lot of us work a lot, we all a couple of us have businesses and we have our families, like we don't even see what we're missing. So, I think especially the busy husband, the busy family, this book opens up your eyes. This program just lights up the world and makes you realize that there's more.
I love it. I love it. Now, this last part, we just like any final thoughts, anything that you want to tell the audience that's watching this right now, spread a message of hope, or if there's anything that you want to tell them, the floor is yours, man.
Um, Obviously, I'm ecstatic to where I got from this program to being able to have my wife at home in our room again and talking and communicating. I know there's still work to do. There's going to be a lot of work to do between us to get us better than we ever have been. But without this program and this book, there's no way it would have been possible. I think there would have already been divorce papers, and I would have been doing what majority of the guys have done, either chasing and begging or just saying, "Well, that didn't work, move on to the next thing." And that's not the way to go. I mean, you got to put in the time and you got to put in the effort, and you need to better yourself before you can do anything. And doing that through this program, I think not only bettered myself and my relationship, but it opened my wife's eyes up to some of her things that she's been holding in because she's had trauma in the past and she doesn't communicate. She just bottles it all up. And now she realized too that she can't do that because she's bottling it up until she explodes. So I think that this program probably saved us both in that aspect of getting out of our own way and opened up the line of communication so we can work on improving ourselves and us as a couple. So, I mean, it doesn't, now that she's home, I know the work doesn't stop. The work continues and I'm going to continue to jump on the discussion boards and go rewatch modules again. And I know I can't just be like, "Oh, okay, she's home, I'm good. Go back to normal," because that won't last very long. Like you say, they can see through the bullshit, and I don't I don't want there to be bullshit. I want this to be permanent and continuing. So,
I love it, man. I love it. Like I always say, and we'll close with this: the feminine mirrors and multiplies. And literally, the number one principle of leadership that I always teach you guys is lead by example. And you would be so
mhm.
surprised how the feminine surrenders into the masculine. But with that being said, thank you, Kevin, so much. I appreciate it. And bye, everybody.